Hello, it's me again. Hey, so today, well, first off, I want to apologize. It's been 2 days since my last video. I don't know that I'm capable of doing 10 videos in 10 days. I just get so many things going on, and I got sick yesterday, so I wasn't up to doing anything, and the day before, I don't even know what happened. So, we're going to start today, and I'm just going to get to doing as many as I can when I can, but by the time I was ready to do something, I just didn't feel like cooking. So, all right, so today I'm going to make a really good chili for when you don't have time to make a big old pot of chili. Now, I have this great little 2-quart crock pot slash pressure cooker. It's great. It's just 2 quarts. It's perfect for those of you like me that you don't want. If I have a big pot, I fill it. Do you do that when you have a big pot to make something in? You just keep adding stuff to it, and before you know it, you got a big old pot of stuff that you got to eat for weeks. Now, when I want to make a big pot of something so I can put some in the freezer for later, that's great. But when I'm just wanting something that's gonna be good for a day or two, maybe 3 for maybe you have dinner one night and lunch for a couple days after. That's kind of what this chili does. It gives me about 3 good servings that are hearty enough, or 4 even, depending on how much I eat the first time I eat it. And it's very quick to do because oftentimes I do this, I go ahead and I make the beans from scratch, not from scratch, but you know what I mean, dry beans, and soak them the night before. I didn't think to do that this time, and I could if I really wanted to. I could cook those up in this here crock pot, or in the pressure cooker part of this, for, I believe it's like 30 minutes. And when I do it for one person, I use a 1/4 cup of the navy beans and a 1/4 cup of the pinto beans, and that ends up being really good. Today, I don't have the time or the energy to do that. I just got done working and I had to run an errand, and then I thought I really need to get this done. I really wanted to share with you guys this. This is one of my go-to recipes when I'm hungry or when I just want something that's going to go for a good day. And I don't know about you, but I love a good thing of chili. I'm going to use tomato sauce. I'm going to use some Rotel, and I was thinking of this, but I think I'm going to see if I've got chili beans. But you can use red kidney beans, you can use pinto beans, you can use the sauced chili beans that are in that are from Winco, which I do, or not Winco. I'm sure they have them at Winco, but they have them at Walmart. And sometimes those are really good because they've already got a little bit of a sauce on them. And then, but these 3 things can make a pretty good chili. And then I add just a little bit of chili powder just to kind of add that smoky flavor into it. And we're good to go. It really doesn't need any more than that. You don't have to chop up a bunch of vegetables. You can to add more to it, but the Rotel has your tomatoes and onions and chili, so there's really no reason to. But this is a real quick, very inexpensive. The Rotel, I think, now goes for about $1.35. The beans, you can find them on sale for 89 cents to $1.30, depending on your store. I know it's gotten atrocious. It used to be you could get them for like 69 cents, but those days are gone. And then I always look for these little 8-ounce cans of tomato sauce, because they will, oftentimes I don't want to buy a big jar of spaghetti sauce or a big jar of sauce, because it's, I'm not going to use it all before it goes bad. This is enough for this chili, and sometimes I'll use a can of if I'm not using the Rotel, I would use a can of diced tomatoes and then add the seasonings to it. I made the mistake once of making it and adding the seasoning mix as well as this, and I didn't like it at all. It was just too much. So I just do it this way. It's very simple, very easy, and gets the job done. Again, you can You can pressure cook or soak your beans and do this for longer. With this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook it up for, you know, I'm going to cook the meat. Oh, and then I have a 1/4 pound of meat that I already had in the freezer that I cooked up, and it's just kind of in there ready to go. I'm going to put all this stuff together without the beans, and I'm going to pressure cook it for 15 minutes. That'll kind of make the flavors all gel together. And then once that's done, I'm going to put the beans in. So let's open a couple cans. And normally I do some chopping and whatnot, but we're in the middle. I thought I would show you a couple things that were just, you know, to start out in this, that were just easy and doesn't take much. And they're things you can throw together without much effort at all. And that's the key, right? Sometimes you get home from work, you don't really feel like cooking. This little gadget, if you didn't have one of these, you could throw all this same stuff into a pot and just let it cook for an hour or so. And everything would kind of come together. But it really does do something to do that pressure cooking for a few minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on menu, pressure high. Stop. We're just going to do a few minutes here on that. I'm going to drop the meat in there. Sorry, I've got a teeny tiny kitchen. I'm not going to put those in yet. I'll open them. I'm going to drain all of the ready. I'm going to add our tomato sauce. Now some people like to chop up, oh, that was what I was going to do. I am going to chop up some green bell pepper. That is something I'm going to do. Green bell peppers are really good in a sauce. Let's pull that out. So I know I have one of those. Live and learn, you guys. You can bear with me as I learn how to do YouTube. Because I'm only doing a small amount of chili, I'm not going to do a ton of pepper. Now these were already cut open and washed. One of my bird's favorite things is the seeds that come inside of these, and they just go nuts for them. So I often buy a bell pepper more for them than for me, but then I eat the rest of it. They don't really like the pepper part. They just like the top with all of the seeds. I can't really get them to eat much of the pepper, but boy, they go crazy for the seeds. There. And it's not very much, but it's enough to just add the flavor. And we're going to add our tomato sauce. Go ahead and use my little scraper here and get all of it. It's just an 8-ounce can for this amount. This is perfect for 1 or 2 people. Like I said, I usually get about 3 to 4 servings, depending on how hungry I am. Okay, put this part back in there. And then we'll go to our Rotel. Now the good thing about Rotel is there is there's hot, there's medium, and there's mild. So you don't have to use the hot. I happen to have a hot one. The one thing you want to be careful of when you use the hot is how long you cook it, because they do get hotter with the length of time that you cook them, which I learned the hard way. And I do like mine spicy, but it is spicy. So just be aware of that. If you're not into too much spice, you might want to tone it down just a little bit. I just add the everything in there. See how simple that is? Opening a few cans. I don't necessarily always just want to open cans, but I do think that it's, so that's kind of what you're looking at there. And then I'm gonna turn it on, and it'll take a few minutes. This little thing runs, and then it'll start cooking. I'm going to come back in about 15 minutes, but it'll only be a second for you, and we'll go from there. Hi, I forgot a couple things, and so I thought I would add them before I get the pressure cooker really going. A little bit of cumin, and a little bit of What's Your Sister's sauce, and just a little shake of that. It just adds a little bit of deeper flavor. And a few shakes of this, because we're not making a huge pot, we're just making a little bit. So, there we go. Now we've got everything ready to go. We'll get it set and forget for, it usually takes about 25 minutes because of the time it takes for it to come to pressure. So, I accidentally turned the camera off too soon. I had my little handy dandy button here in my hand. So I'm going to put it to pressure again. And we are good to go. And I'll be back in just a minute. Hello everybody, we're back. Okay, so I know you didn't miss me. It's only been a second for you. So this has come down to pressure. It's now been about a minute, almost 2 minutes, and I want to show you a trick. So when you go to take the steam out, or release the pressure, this is a very nice thing. I place it over the top of the steam valve, and I let it go. What that does is it keeps the steam down a little bit from going all over, and it also can keep you from getting burned. If you hit that just right, that steam coming out of there is super hot. So that's just one of the little things that I do to kind of alleviate either getting burned by the steam, but also keeping the whole house from filling up with steam. And because this is a small pot, it doesn't take very long at all. Okay. See how fast that was? And then that has to go into the dirty clothes. Make sure that, the other thing is to make sure that you don't open this too close to yourself. Oops. That being said, I do want it attached so that when I lift it up, it stays up. Okay. And that looks good. Let's give it a little taste. Now, it doesn't have the beans in it yet, but spicy. Oh yeah, that's spicy. I should have really gotten medium when I bought that Can I get my words to work? When I got the Rotel, we're going to put that in there. Put the beans in, stir them up, and then I'm going to, what could I do? What could I add to that would cool that down just a hair? Because that is very spicy. You know, I don't even know. Maybe if I add another can of tomato sauce, but that'll make it too saucy. We don't want it too saucy, but we'll just let it be and we'll have hot chili. We'll just have to make sure we eat crackers with it to kind of tone it down a little bit. So then I'm going to close it back up, lock it tight, lock the seal, and then I'm going to, what did I do with my glasses? Okay, so I needed to get my glasses. Now I'm just going to put it on, I'm just going to do 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes to get those beans hot and get everything kind of meld together. I'm probably going to add some cheese to this to help tone it down when I do eat it, because it's quite spicy. That's why I say, if you like hot but you don't like it so hot it's going to burn your mouth off, get the medium, and then when you cook it, it gets hotter. If you get the mild, it's going to be hotter than it would normally be if you didn't, you know, even if you cook it longer. But when you pressure cook things, it just kind of makes those flavors all come out. But even if you cook it for like, sometimes I make a chili that I cook on slow cook for, you know, 3 or 4 hours. This is just a way to speed that up. So you'll cook it for just about 5 minutes more under pressure. So that actually turns into about 15 minutes because of the time that it takes for it to come to pressure. It takes 5 to 10 minutes depending on how much is in the pot. And it's a small pot, so it doesn't take very long. And then when it's done, you garnish and serve. Now, some people like to, obviously you probably know this, making cornbread or something for the side dish. For me, it's so hearty, I don't really need that. I sometimes will eat some crackers. I'm not really supposed to have cornbread, and all the good stuff is gone. Once you're diabetic, it's pretty much gone. And it's going to be real good. I hope you enjoy it. If you like it, give it a try. And it really is the best way to make a small amount of chili, and it costs less than buying a couple cans of chili, honestly. With the 3 ingredients that we use, it just makes more. Like, you could buy 2 cans for probably what we spent, or what I spent, but you're not gonna get as much, you know. But this is really good. Anyways, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, and so now what we're going to do is we're going to redo this. What did I do with that? Okay. We're going to release the pressure again. Another way to do this for not getting it to mess up your house and smell, and you know, if you've got a big one of these pressure cookers like this one, you would take, I have unplugged it. I've been known to unplug it, take it out on the back porch, and release the valve there, and that keeps all the steam and all the smell and everything outside. I can't do it right now because my birds are out, and I don't want them to get out the front door, so we don't do that while they're out. You can probably hear them in the background. Okay, so that has released. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that is bubbling now. And that was the perfect amount of hamburger. That was about 1/4 pound of hamburger for this. I think I could go with 1/2 pound and it would still be, you know, a good ratio of meat to beans. I pre-grated some cheese. That's not the cheese I thought it was, but it'll do. This is just some mozzarella, but I think I have some pepper jack. Use this because it'll work, and I don't have to grate any more cheese. All right, so let's see. I'm going to grab one of my nice little mugs here. Grab a ladle. It's not super saucy, but it's good. I still have to figure out how to use this camera or how to use this thing to where I can do what I want to do here. Anyways, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of cheese. There's not much left in here, and that's fine. And grab a spoon. All right. Let's see how good this is. Chili has always been one of my all-time favorite things, and I probably cook it at least every other month, sometimes twice a month, just depending on the time of year. And it's kind of the right time of year for chili. It's orange up, just getting that sorry. That's good, but it does have a bit of a kick to it. So if you don't like super spicy, I would go with the medium to the mild. The other kind of chili, salsa, sometimes I decide to make chili when I have, like, if you ever buy those little plastic tubs that are full of, that have salsa in them at the grocery store, it's fresh salsa. I usually buy the medium to the hot in that. And when I have leftovers, I might have half a container, and I know I shouldn't go get a bag of chips. I will dump that into the thing as well and use that versus the Rotel or the, you can really use any salsa that you like. But this is a quick and easy way to make chili without spending a whole lot of money and a whole lot of time in the kitchen. And you'll be happy that you did. Thank you for watching, and I am working on the menu for the next video. I was trying to do this 10 videos in 10 days, and I gotta tell you, that's probably not gonna be something I'm gonna do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do 10 videos in a row, but I think it's probably gonna be an every other day thing, because I just think that's more reasonable for me with my schedule. And so look for me in another couple days after this, and who knows, maybe I pop up with one before that. And then I'm going to work on some stuff that I'm learning how to do this to where I have content ready before, you know, but I'm just learning, and hopefully you will come along as I learn, and hopefully the things that I decide to do you'll enjoy. If you have a recipe or something that you do that you like that's really good, that's for one person, 1 to 2 people, because I'm trying to keep this channel to, you know, cooking for 1 or 2, because, you know, let's face it, there's all kinds of channels on there cooking for, you know, a family, but those of us that are single find it hard sometimes to just make a decent meal without breaking the bank, you know, or without having to eat it for 2 weeks, you know. I make a really good soup that I used to have to eat for 2 weeks, and I figured out how to break it down, and I'm going to show you guys that recipe and how to break it down where you can make it all or get it all prepped. I guess more you're not making the whole thing, but prepping it beforehand, and I'll do that at some point, because it really does, any kind of soup or pot of soup that you would make, that making more at a time is just easier, is something that is good to do that way, even for one person. If you've got a little room in your freezer, a little freezer bag full of the ingredients, and then you just add the stuff to it a little bit later. Anyways, I look forward to meeting with you again. Please, if you're interested, if it, I hate it when people say if you're interested, so I've got to try a way to say it. if you would like to subscribe, hit the like bell. That will help other people see my channel. I'm very new. I think right now there's 5 subscribers. And that's pretty good because I just started like what, a couple weeks ago, and well, I started and then I stopped and started and stopped. So you know, I understand. But let's see if we can't kick this thing off. I look forward to talking to you. Thanks for joining me, and have a great supper. Bye. So that was my chili that I like to make every couple weeks to every couple months, depending on when I get the itch to make it. I wanted to, you know, just quickly say, you know, I'm learning. So yes, these are very simplistic recipes, but sometimes when you come home after work, and or you get done with work, and you're trying to think of what can I make for dinner, sometimes these really quick things that you can throw together are a really good idea. Not everybody thinks to make homemade chili. They, you know, you have all of these, you know, things of chili you can get at the grocery store, and it's like 2 something for a can that serves you, you know, maybe a serving and a half in it, you know, what you would want to eat. And I've just found some of these ways where, you know, spending probably the same amount of money or maybe a few pennies more, because I think that the beans are, let's say, 89 cents, and then you've got the sauce. Now that tomato sauce, the small tomato sauce that I bought, I found those on sale for 29 cents a can, and I bought a whole case because I use it in all sorts of things. And then the Rotel was $1.35. So right there, you're looking at like 3 something, right, for everything you need, minus the Worcestershire sauce, or where's your sister's sauce? I can never say it right, so that was kind of a joke years ago. And then the other thing is, you know, the little bit of bell pepper. I almost always have those on hand. One of the things that I saw on, that I see oftentimes in a lot of other videos, is the fact that people will use, sorry, brain fog, trying to remember what I was going to say. People will, when they're making their videos, because I've been trying to learn how to do this, and I've been watching a lot of different videos and different content, and oftentimes they will make 3 or 4 meals at a time, right? And maybe at some point I'm going to get to that, to where I'm able to do that and show people what I'm going to do. But I think I watched one gal who did it where she made 1 meal, and she did it like for a week, but she did it all in one video. And to me, but she also went and did the shopping and then showed all her groceries, and you know, that might become a thing too. I don't know. For me, I know what I was going to say. It just came back to me. You know, when the train leaves the station and you don't remember where it's going. Yeah. What I was going to say was, oftentimes I go grocery shopping and I pick up things like that case of tomato sauce, not knowing what I'm going to make it for. I don't have a plan in my head. I just know that I use tomato sauce. Our Safeway in our area, about at least once a month or every other month, they put on sale the Tillamook blocks of cheese in every flavor that they carry. They put it on sale for like $6.95 for a pound of it. Well, if you go to the store, they're $12 to $13 for that same one just about anywhere else. So when they do those sales, I pick up a couple bricks and I put them in the refrigerator, and it may be months before I use them. I put them in the freezer if I've already got some in the thing, because I pick them up when they're on sale. I don't know what I'm going to make with them, but it's going to be good, and I'm not going to have spent $12 for a block of cheese. So that's how I shop. So these people, and don't get me wrong, I think it's great if you can do it. If you can go and shop for the week. I used to have a friend that she shopped every night. Every night she went to the store to buy stuff for dinner, and I'm like, she had 3 kids, and I was like, that's just ludicrous. Why would you do that? That's time, gas. You're probably spend more money because you can impulse buy. It just no. I'm not going shopping once a night, but I go shopping about once a week. Um, but I don't always have every meal that I'm buying what I'm buying planned. Okay. So my kind of cooking is one of these things where I'm going to be able to tell you what you need, and if you shop that way, you can do that. But I'm going to do it the way I do it because I make my food go a lot farther by doing it that way, and I think you would see if you tried it that way that you can too. I'll find a sell on chicken, you know, chicken thighs, chicken breast, whatever, in one of the big packages. Well, those packages are meant for, you know, a family of 4 or 6 or something like that, and there's a ton of meat in there. And I have a seal a meal, and I'll bring it home and I'll repackage it and then throw a bunch of it up in the freezer. But I package it up in enough for, you know, 1 to 2 meals, depending, you know. And I do some that it's just one. Sometimes those chicken breasts are huge. You only need one for 2 meals, you know. So that's kind of, those are ways I'm trying to stop, to not eat too much of the canned stuff and to eat more fresh foods. And so I do a lot of cooking my beans from dry goods. I'm starting to eliminate sugar from my diet, and I got a lot of that stuff out of the house. So I'm using, you know, allulose or some of the other sugar substitutes that are the good ones, not the saccharin or the, you know, the old stuff that they used to use that's really bad for you. But the other newer, like, sugar type actual sugars. And then so you buy these things as you need them and as you see that you're running out. I then decide, okay, what am I going to make? Now, that doesn't mean to say I don't go to the store and say, hey, I'm going to make this, so I need to buy this, and this to make this week. That does happen. But for the most part, what I try to do is have certain things stocked, and then I'm just filling in, right? If you stock up on your different canned goods that you use, you know, your vegetables, your soups, or, you know, any of those kind of things, then all you have to do is fill it in with the other things. And you can find, you know, soup goes on sale every once in a while for a really good price, and you buy a case of it, and you'll for me, because I don't eat a lot of canned soup, it'll last a year, because I'm gonna, you know, have one every once in a while when I just don't feel like cooking, right? So that's kind of some of the strategies I use for shopping. Is I will buy things that I know I need as I need them. Like when you buy flour, or when you buy sugar, or when you buy any of those kind of things, I'm just buying it as I see that it's gone down in my inventory, you know, because it does. And that way I'm not limiting myself to what I just bought at the store, but I've got a lot of things that are just in my cupboards that are ready for when I need them. When I may have something, like I had bought some enchilada sauce, and I'm like, oh, what do I need in order to make some enchiladas or make something with that enchilada and enchilada sauce, and then I'll go and find those things. So I say all this because I've been watching, I know it's pretty common sense, right? But I've been watching a lot of videos where they go out and they do their grocery haul, and then they cook for, you know, meals for a week out of just those groceries. To me, that's not economically sound, because you're not always going to find the most affordable things every week. It's like the grocery store does these ads every week, you know, they all do, where something different is on sale every week, right? So if I go to the store one week and I'm like, oh, that looks good, I already have that at home, I'm going to be able to make my money go farther. All that to say, you know, we all do it different. I'm not judging anybody for doing it their way. I'm just saying that's not how I shop. And so I'm hoping that you'll be able to, like, just see, you know, what ingredients it took to do something, and then make it. And I will be getting to where things are more you know, cutting everything up, I'm gonna make some fried rice. probably this week, because I got everything I needed to get it. I only needed to get the, I have rice and I have all the stuff that I needed. I just needed some cabbage, and I didn't have any, so I got that. And then, so I'll make that probably in the next day or so. Like I said, I'm probably not going to get a video out every day. I know that I had taken on this challenge for 10 videos in 10 days, but it's just unrealistic, and then I feel like I've let myself down. I've let people that, you know, maybe watch it, not that I have a huge following at this point, but I don't want to say I'm going to do something and not do it. So now my thought process is I'm going to try to work on at least a couple videos a week, and we'll work up to where we get more and go from there. But that just isn't realistic for me. And I figured that out. It took me, you know, 2 tries of trying to do it, and I do 3 videos in a row, and then I wouldn't get to them. And you know, it's all a new experience. It's something new that I'm working on. Okay, you guys, you being loud? Got loud birds. So anyways, I appreciate your taking the time to watch this. I don't want to babble on too long and make this an extremely long video, but I look forward to finding new and adventurous stuff to make, and hopefully helping you figure out what's for dinner. Thank you. And if you liked this video, please hit the like button. And if you would like to follow me, please hit the subscribe button. It's free. If you want to know when video comes out, hit that little bell. I know y'all probably know that, but and then you'll be alerted whenever a video comes out. Have a great day. Bye.